All right, everybody, it's 9 o'clock. I call this Sawyer County Public Safety Committee meeting to order. Can we have roll call, Madam Clerk?
Ron Buckholz.
Present.
Mark Helwig excused. Jeff Haney, he's virtual. Marshall Savitsky. Jim Evans,
Here.
virtual. You have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, certification of compliance with opens meeting law, Madam Clerk.
This meeting was noticed to the media and public as required by Section 19.84 of Wisconsin statutes.
Okay, thank you. Number 6, the meeting agenda is set. Number 7, does anybody want to do public comment? Okay. All right. Number 8, consider approval of the minutes of the previous meeting. Need a motion?
I'll consider it.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Savitsky. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second, was that Jeff? Jeff. Second by Mr. Haney to approve the previous month's meeting minutes. Number 9, Clerk of Courts. Marge is not here. So she sent her report. Everybody looked at the report. Any questions with their report? Okay. Number 10, Sheriff's Department. Patrol report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Reporting from a report from March 24th, 2026 from Lieutenant Brzezinski. Patrol call volume increase from last month's report in March 2026 to 730. For March 2026, Patrol had issued 45 citations, 28 written warnings, 7 non-traffic citations. There were 11 crashes with 5 personal injuries and 0 fatalities. We are pleased to announce that our Huber deputy, Shelby Robinson, has been promoted to the patrol position for nights, and we're currently in the trickle-down process of filling her shift, and then after that shift. End of my report.
Oh, okay, thank you. All right, any questions? Jeff?
No.
Jim?
No.
Thank
No,
you.
sir.
All right, thank you. Number B, jail report, Lieutenant.
Thank you. March of 26, we've seen an average daily population of 56 inmates, 11 of those being females, 45 males. Average probation incarceration was at 30, pre-sentence incarceration was at 15, with 11 sentenced inmates. Currently, we do not have anybody on electronic monitoring. We had 58 inmates the day that this report was generated, with an unemployment rate at the time of booking at 71%. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody have any questions on the jail report?
No, sir.
No, sir.
All right. Thank you. Number C, communications report, Director Rapinski.
Thank you. Just want to announce that April 12th through the 18th is National Telecommunicators Week. It's a week designed to honor the public safety telecommunicators, the dispatchers that serve our community. And we're also announcing formally that we have started using text to 911 in the communication center. It's a way for PSAPs to not only take 911 calls via the phone, but through text to 911, so they can text the dispatch center now if there's an emergency, and we can text back to them. So situations in which they might not be able to make a phone call, they can now use text to 911.
You have that up and running now,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yep. March of 2026, calls for service was 1465, which is an increase from March of 2025. Year-to-date, 2,875 calls for service. Last time when this report was ran, we've taken 384 911 calls, 2,239 non-emergency calls, for a total of 2,623, and year-to-date total of 7,966. For emergency management, last month we dealt with the winter storm. Weather conditions were monitored closely between the Highway Department, Public Health, and myself, along with township and municipalities. There was no significant damage or power outages, and roads were kept in good driving conditions throughout the entirety of the winter storm. I did attend the Court Safety and Security Conference. With Court Services, we'll be working on emergency operations plans for the courthouse and the entirety of the building, not just the courtrooms. So, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Any questions?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. Next, number 11, code enforcement.
Thank you. Apologize for my voice. I am getting over a sickness, but so revenue for animal control was higher compared to last month, mainly due to we had a rabies vaccination clinic earlier in the month, which we had a pretty good turnout for. Overall, at the clinic, we sold 45 dog licenses, excuse me, 101 rabies vaccinations, and then 7 microchips. And then for admissions into the pound, it was pretty similar to last month, with actually, at the end of the month, we had 4 enter the pound, 2 were turned over to shelters, and then 2 were reclaimed by their owner. For calls, we had the other calls category was the greatest volume, with the majority being calls in regards to lost animals from people. And then the overall call volume was actually the highest for last month compared to the 2 previous months. Otherwise, for code enforcement for public health, we did not have any TRH complaints for the month. And we had 2 potential human health hazard complaints that we were investigating and decided were not actually human health hazards. So that is all.
Okay. All right, any questions?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, all right, thank you. Number 12, child support report. Mike, is there a reason why these people ain't coming here? You know? Well, it's child support and then, what's his name from him? Is he? Okay. All right, anybody have any questions with the child support report?
No, sir.
Okay. Not, go on to the next one. Emergency services.
Hello,
From,
can you hear me?
yeah,
Awesome. Well, you guys can see my report where I've been breaking down the runs so far what we have. Having a little bit of an issue between the dispatch center and my reporting software with getting call volumes, but with the help of Nicole, or not call volumes, but townships. But me and Nicole got a spreadsheet going on right now where I can keep track of all the townships and where the runs are going, and then double checking it through my new reporting software. There's going to be a lot of more updated runs with the next report because a lot of things were just coming over as the addresses for the where like the not the townships, but it was coming in just either Hayward, Stone Lake, or Radisson. So I'm sifting through those to get more accurate places where these runs are going on. And now that we got that done, our medical director has been going over a lot of our reports and stuff like that. We've been doing a lot of training, and yeah, we're almost getting ready for the summer now. We have our events that we're getting ready for, like Lumberjack, Fishing Have No Boundaries, Muskie Fest. So, any questions on any of those?
I have a couple questions. On, it says Bruce, average run time, 54 minutes. What is that?
That's a mutual aid request. Russ County called us down there,
Okay,
and yeah, so from when we were dispatched, they ended up getting canceled. It was actually it was closer to like Sheldon than it was Bruce, I guess. But that's what it came up in under our CAD system. So,
Okay, then I see one on there for Rice Lake.
Yep, that Rice Lake was a mutual aid request,
Okay,
another one.
okay. All right, thank you.
Yep.
Any questions? Anyone?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Right. Number 13, towers. Mr. Martin, what can you tell us? Anything good?
We did have an ad hoc meeting on Monday, the 30th, and we did discuss the towers. The representatives from TGB are going to bring it back and try to get a definitive answer for us because we've been waiting on that one for a while. And we've got Gary here to speak about the project overall, if we want to welcome him up to the
Yeah,
stage.
let's hear what you got to say.
Hello.
Hello.
It's been a while. Gary Pelletier with GenCom. So the radio project is going along. I know it doesn't seem like you haven't seen much progress. That's why I'm here to let you know what's been going on so far. We have a lot of the engineering stuff completed on the project. Whenever you do a radio project, you come up with a preliminary design, and as you find towers and look at towers and do structural analysis, sometimes that design will change here or there. So a couple things that we came up with is the Pipestone Tower, which is actually a county tower, and it's also shared with by the state of Wisconsin uses that tower. The old specification called for 1/2-inch ice on towers. Now they measure for 1.5 inch. So at 1.5 inch, it would fail. 1/2 inch, it's still fine. So what we're trying to do is not do anything with that tower. I do know the state of Wisconsin plans on using that for a future Wiscom site. So most likely they may want to replace the tower at their own dime. So what we're trying to do is just keep the loading as is. We're going to remove a couple items, keep a couple items, but just knowing that we didn't want to overload it with any more equipment because we're using that to get to some of the other sites. So that was one thing that was a failure on the tower loading. The other one is working with the WOJB and the RES. That tower, right now, I know they were talking with T-Mobile to go on the tower as well as the county. Right now, the plans with T-Mobile on hold, but we did run a structural analysis. It has failed, but again, the same reason. It failed because of the ice thickness is now measured for 1.5 rather than 1/2 inch. There is some bracing that can be done at the bottom of the tower to beef it up, to bring it into structural standards. So we're running those numbers right now. So it looks like we'll still be able to go on the tower, but we may have to do some bracing on the bottom of the tower to get it up to current standards.
So who would pay for that?
That may be the county. We're also wondering if T-Mobile still wants to go on, maybe they can pay for the bracing and it'll fix their problem and our problem, because there would be overloaded. And if they still want to go on, so we're going to still have some discussions with them to see if T-Mobile and us can go on at the same time, and then they take or they pay the price on the modifications to the tower. So right now, we're just kind of getting a rough BOM on what it would cost. For bracing. We've done bracing on towers before. Sometimes it's 20, 30,000. Sometime, and this is just bracing. So I expect it to be under 50, maybe 35,000. So, but if T-Mobile can pay for that, if they're going to still go on. So once we get those numbers back, we'll work with them and see how we want to proceed.
So if T-Mobile doesn't want to pay that, and then.
Yeah, if they don't want to
county
go on, if they want to
has
go
to-
on, they're going to have to pay it no matter what. So, because if we do, I hate to do any bracing and then it fixes the county's loading, but it doesn't cover their loading and they'd have to do more bracing. So it'd be better to get all of it done all at once. And most likely, if they really want to go on that tower, they have a lot deeper pockets and I think they will probably go on there. So, and you know, T-Mobile bought US Cellular and they've been slowly turning off US Cellular tower sites that are in overlap areas with T-Mobile. So definitely, I know they want coverage in that area. So we're still working on some stuff there, but.
Yeah, because to me, it just seemed like this been dragging on and on and on with the WOJB tower. And to me, sometimes I get the feeling that they don't want us to access that tower. So I got a question. What is this tower out here on 27 just past Beechmore? What is that tower? Anybody know?
On 20.
Catholics Tower, the one right off 27 by G2?
No, you just go past Beechmore And it's just up there off to the left?
Yeah, the one on top of the hill there.
Yeah,
I don't know,
Is that a new tower?
yes.
brand new,
Oh,
put up last fall.
okay. Yeah, we can take a look at what that
It
is.
must be Verizon because now when you go down into the Billy Boy hole, you don't lose cell phone.
Yeah, you get all them- you get
And
all your
mine-
bars.
Ours are Verizon, so it must be a Verizon tower.
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah,
I
I
just,
can take a look at that, at what that would do.
yeah,
I do know, there's some money savings on going on the WOJB. Now, I do know that they did say, correct me if I'm wrong, that, I think the preference was for the county rather than T-Mobile at this time. Because I think they want us to go on there. We're just doing our due diligence to make sure that the loading in that tower is not gonna come down in an ice storm.
yeah, because my understanding is with the chief of police out there for LCO, she's in big favor of it because it would benefit them also, so
Yes, it
that
would.
was one
It's
of the
definitely a
talks.
win-win.
Put it on there, yes, so.
So, I mean, you're gonna co-locate inside of their shelter as well as share their generator. If you go to another site, and I think the rent to them was a lot favorable than it would be for a Verizon tower. So there's a substantial savings if we can stay on the WOJB. So right now, we're actually working with them. So we're getting in these numbers, and then we'll see, at that point, who wants to pay for that or who can pay for that. And if T-Mobile still is looking at going on right away. I mean, we're still planning on, going live on this system this summer. So just to let you know, I should have started with that, but yeah, we are still looking at this summer. And so we're just going through all the stuff throughout the winter to be prepared to start doing the construction and stuff.
Yeah, because like I say, we've been pushing this for a long time, and
Yeah, We're getting close. Like I said, we are getting close.
it's good to hear that getting close.
Yes,
When we say it, or we got her done,
uh-huh.
then it would be a hurry.
Yes. I'll give you a couple other updates, like the tower that's being built out at Draper. They're gonna start, construction on the site soon as the ground thaws a little bit more. We're hoping to start mid-April, and now we've got some weather like this, so it may start early May. The tower has already been procured. It's sitting, waiting on shipment. So, they're gonna go, level off the site, pour in the concrete for the tower slab, let it cure, and then they'll be able to erect the tower. The buildings are already here. The shelters for the communication sites have already been shipped, I believe. They're over at the highway shop, right? So we've already got buildings, we've got generators, we've got the tower, and we've got all the radio equipment. So we're just ready to start doing the civil and construction work at some of these sites.
deal.
So we'll be putting stuff inside the water tower here in Hayward at Nyland. Is it Nyland? Yeah, yep, Nyland. And we do have a site at the old water tower that I believe is coming down, right by the river. Yep. So we're gonna move to that site to have better in-building coverage here in the community, even though there is a tower out at Dairylands Tower out east of town.
So,
We're good with that. All the structural engineering has been done for that Hayward Tower. Like I said, Pipestone, we're gonna just kind of kick the can down to the state to replace that tower eventually, but we'll still be able to use that. Flambeau, everything is good with Flambeau, all the engineering drawings, so we're co-locating there at the State Tower. We are working on an MOU at that site for them, to share that site. And I believe we're still working on an MOU with the WOJB as well, so. And then Winter, so we ended up adding Winter Water Tower as kind of a site to get to Draper, and I'll tell you what happened. It's the Pipestone Tower. Because of the loading issue, we were looking at putting it on a 6-foot dish. So that's as tall as me and as wide as me. It's like having a big umbrella up there, and when the wind blows, so you really puts a lot of strain on the tower. So we were able to, instead of running 3 dishes through Pipestone, go down to 2 small dishes, which pretty much is what's on there now, and then go through Winter to get over to Draper. So we have worked with the Village of Winter. They're all for us going on there. We are just gonna do some structural analysis of the railing up there. There are currently no cell companies or anybody else on the tower, but we will be putting dishes on that site. So that has been one change to the plan that we originally talked about. So, but we're still within budget on a lot of this.
that's good.
Yes. The Meadowbrook, now that's the wild card. That is a bug tussle tower. And they've kind of gone radio silent, trying to get a hold of them. I heard they had some financial difficulties recently, and they just were asking them, when are you going to build this tower? It's already been approved at zoning. They've already got an entire site registration with the FAA. So if you look, it looks like there's a tower there on paper, but they haven't constructed it yet. So that was going to be a site. There's two options. And one, I talked to the sheriff about this, is we still can go live without the site. You are going to create a radio coverage hole there in the south central part of the county. But now, I was talking to Nicole this morning, that now that Winter is there, one option is put a site at Winter. We already have microwave equipment going through there. Move the transmit receive site to Winter. You will provide portable outdoor coverage in that area. The indoor coverage would still be lacking, but as far as an officer getting out of his car on foot, he'd still be able to talk that way. And the other option is, if Bug Tussle does not build the tower or is delayed, you could put up your own tower, but that adds a $250,000 to the project. And we looked at land in that area, just see if there's anything that the county or municipality owned. We really couldn't find anything. A little east of there, we found some land, but it just didn't cover that area along the highway. So
Meadowbrook owns 80 acres.
Oh, do they? I mean, and they call this the Meadowbrook Tower, so it's right off of that little side road. I can't remember the name of it. So that's where it's supposed to be, and it's a great location because that is a dead spot. Putting a tower there would really clean up it and really provide good coverage there. But so the options are, we do nothing and just leave this equipment until they build the tower. Could be a year, could be 2, could be 3, or move it to Winter. It'll solve your outdoor portable coverage, but indoor will still be lacking in that area. If they stay outside, they're fine. If they go inside of a building, it's not going to be as good. Or you could go to Winter and eventually move when a tower is built down there. I think there will be a tower built. It definitely is a dead spot. Maybe T-Mobile, maybe somebody else will build a tower in that area. But it is an area that's really lacking of any towers besides this future one that's going up.
Because I know that one over there on Hawes Loop in the Meadowbrook, the town approved that also.
Yeah.
But like I say, they haven't done nothing with it. But just south of that, maybe a quarter of a mile, my township owns 80 acres there.
Okay. Yeah, that could be a spot that we could look at.
Yeah.
But again,
I know our dump is there, but.
If you build your own tower, I mean, we already have the building in the budget. We already have the generator and a lot of the construction at the site. It's just building another tower. And if the county would do that, like I said, it adds on about another $250,000 to the overall project cost by putting up a county-owned tower. Now, you wouldn't have to, two things, you wouldn't have to pay a lease at all. And you could also build it like we did with Draper for potential cellular company to come along and rent from the county too. So there are some options that would help.
Didn't we have money in the budget for that? We're putting up a new tower, Mike, or am I wrong?
We budgeted for one, and that's the Draper Tower.
Yeah, that's a Draper. Originally, we talked about 2 towers, possibly building another one, but when we found some of the leased towers, we decided let's just do that. So we updated the quote and removed that second tower at the time, but.
Okay.
So we'll know more. We have bi-weekly meetings right now with the sheriff's department, and we go over the project, the status, what we need to do, the help we're getting from them. So we're proceeding, and so like with or without that Meadowbrook or Winter, that we will be live this summer.
Good deal. So,
Okay.
all right, anybody have any questions on the towers?
No, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, number 15, Mike?
Yeah, one thing I would note out of CJCC is it was noticed that our unemployment rate at the time of booking has been continually decreasing and actually hit 67% last month, and we're up a little bit to 71 this month, but that's encouraging that, because it used to be 80s, 90s, didn't it? A year or two ago.
That's it? Any questions? Not? Number 16, board appointed committees. We never have anything. Correspondence reports from conferences and meetings. We have none. Future agenda items, do you think you'd have any more information on the towers by that time, Mike? Gary?
Yes.
Okay, can we put that back on there, Liz? You guys have anything that wants to go on there? Just let me, Liz, or Mike know. And towers, okay, next meeting date and time. How do we work that, Liz?
Someone else in another committee had asked to start adding this. I think it was Julia Lyons. And so I just now made it into the agenda software to do that, and I didn't type it into this one. So the next one's the same as usual. It's, I have it in my minutes here.
Okay.
May 7th at 9 a.m., but it's going to be new on the agenda to start putting it in there because
Okay.
that's a
All
good
right.
place to have it. Sorry, I didn't get to it yet. I just newly created it when I
Okay.
did this set.
All right, no, that's fine, okay.
So yeah, it'll be May 7th at 9 a.m. Thursday.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, if nothing else, I want to thank everybody. Thanks for the good updates on all your reports. We're adjourned.